happy that you have chosen to come and celebrate with us. And I would say that, yes, you did hear me right. Despite these challenging times, we are celebrating, and we hope that you will celebrate with us. I know it seems like we don't have much to celebrate these days, but there is, in fact, plenty for us to celebrate. And I look forward to sharing some of that with you. We're honored this afternoon to have three very special guests with us. Three people who lead first responders in our community. Their work is critical to our community, in fact, and often intersects with the work of the Salvation Army. We're thrilled that they have joined our celebration today. So will you welcome with me, again, in this very different environment, King County Under Sheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall, Fire Chief Harold Scoggins, and Police Chief Adrian Diaz. We're glad you guys are with us on this very special afternoon. We'll hear more from our special guests in just a few minutes. So what are we celebrating? Well, we are celebrating the kickoff of the holiday season. Although the Salvation Army's work of serving people is year-round, many people only think of us during the holiday season because of those red kettles you see outside grocery stores and the mall. Today, we're therefore kicking off our Christmas season and our Red Kettle campaign. These iconic red kettles and the bell ringers that stand beside them are a tradition that started over 100 years ago. Now, more than a century later, these symbols are important reminders of the Salvation Army here in our community. As a matter of fact, the coins and the dollars that get dropped into the kettles actually are a significant amount of money that the Salvation Army uses to serve people year-round. And that's why we are here today. Friends, we need your help to rescue Christmas. Our traditional Red Kettle fundraising campaign is in jeopardy. You can probably tell by the fact that we are doing this remotely instead of being in front of a store or in a very public place. We are having to do things very differently this year, so our campaign will be different as well. Now, you may see a few of our red kettles around town beginning this week, but honestly, with recent health and safety guidelines that have been put in place, which we respect and follow, have really caused us to have to cut back on the amount of red kettles that will be in front of stores and may put that program in great jeopardy. Let me put that in perspective for you. Last year, the kettles in King County raised almost $500,000, $500,000 that was used to provide shelter to our homeless neighbors, food for hungry families impacted by the COVID crisis, and basic needs that we might take for granted. Yet this year, when the needs are higher than usual and expected to increase, we're expecting at least a 50% decline in the amount of money raised through our red kettles. This is particularly frightening. I'll be very honest with you, because the number of people coming to us for assistance has risen by over 50% in this last year. And as we look at the year ahead, we believe that number is only going to continue to rise. With the economic impact of COVID, we've been working overtime. We didn't retreat. We stepped up and said, what more can we do? We've distributed thousands upon thousands of food boxes to families. We've served to-go meals so that people that need a meal have access to it. We've expanded our shelters for our vulnerable neighbors. In fact, we just opened a new shelter in partnership with the City of Seattle and King County so that our homeless neighbors will have a place to go that is safe, with wraparound services that will help them find a permanent solution. This is life-changing work, and the dollars in the red kettle help make it happen. Like I said, it adds up. So we join you in this really unusual format, asking for you to help us rescue Christmas for families and individuals in need. In a few minutes, we're going to share some digital formats that you can use to do that. But first, I want to ask the few guests that we have to participate with us. So I'm going to introduce them to you. In many cases, the work of the Salvation Army is in collaboration with others. And we're honored to have a few of those guests, as I said, with us today to help us rescue Christmas. So let's take a moment to hear from our guests. And we're going to start with King County Undersheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall. Sheriff, can you tell us a little bit about partnership in your department?
Well, let me first say thank you for inviting me to be part of this today. I appreciate it, and I think it's a great cause, and we do partner with you. But let me just for a minute talk about the Sheriff's Office, just so people understand. We are the primary law enforcement for the unincorporated areas of King County, but we also provide contract police services for 12 cities within King County and 2 transit agencies, both Metro and Sound Transit. We also have our deputies that work at the King County Airport. So they are firefighters and deputies combination. So we believe, we play an important role here in county, partnering with our law enforcement and fire partners to keep our community safe. But these days, partnerships are the key to success for all of us. I mean, without that, it just would be impossible. None of our agencies can do it alone. We need to collaborate, and I believe we collaborate frequently. I'm particularly proud of the King County partnership with the Salvation Army called Street Level. This is a team that does outreach with homeless neighbors living in their vehicles within South King County. So an important effort, and we're glad to be part of that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sheriff. We're just super grateful for the county's partnership with the Street Level program, and we're very grateful to you for your service. We're also going to hear today from Chief Scoggins of the Seattle Fire Department. Can you tell us about the importance of partnership these days from your perspective, Chief?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone out there, and good afternoon, Captain Harvey. You know, the partnerships run deep with community on many fronts. As we've seen this year, it's been very challenging with COVID and with the many wildfires. So many people have needed support. And I know the Salvation Army has been out there on the front lines as our firefighters have been dispatched down to Oregon and Colorado and California, and even here in Washington. We know the Salvation Army has been there to support community. So the fire department, Seattle Fire Department, and others in this region, we're proud to partner with the Salvation Army because you help us out in need. And I know I have my bell right here. I don't know if I'm supposed to ring it, but I'm ringing it right now because I know Chief Diaz and I last year, we were out together ringing that bell, supporting the Army. So keep up the good work, and please let us know what we can do in the future.
Thank you, Chief Scoggins. We really appreciate it. We know that the wildfire work is physically and mentally exhausting. We could not be more grateful to your department for your work, for your support to our community. So thank you for being part of this with us today. And we will definitely call on you. So let's also now hear from Chief Adrian Diaz, Seattle Police Department. Chief is also part of the Salvation Army's King County Advisory Board. How are you doing today, Chief?
I'm doing great, and thank you. I just want to start off by thanking the Salvation Army for their commitment to service. Like Chief Scoggins noted, I was out there last year, ringing the bell, and I was so happy to be a part of that. 2020 has been a difficult year, and we're seeing more people on the streets in crisis or struggling to make their ends meet. And we value our partnerships with a lot of our social service agencies. Our officers are working with these agencies to identify our vulnerable population, to refer our communities into these services that keep them safe and help them through these trying times. We're excited for all the beds that the Salvation Army has put together to help reduce the homeless population on the streets. But we're really just so grateful for Salvation Army stepping up to this calling. And we're just happy to be a part of this Rescuing Christmas event.
Thanks, Chief. It was an honor to show you around the Soto shelter just a couple of weeks ago. And we're just, again, very grateful to you and for your officers for your service to this community.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to ring in the season. It's time to do that. And Chief Scoggins, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but that's okay. It's all right, because we'll get you ringing that bell some more. But we're going to ring in the season. I'm going to ask our guests on the count of 3. I'm going to ask our guests to go ahead and ring the bell. and I will place the ceremonial first dollar into the red kettle for King County. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, ring that bell. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm hoping we caught that, the ringing of those bells across King County with our very special guest. Thank you all for being a part of this with us today. We truly appreciate your participation, but more importantly, we appreciate your service to our community. Well, it's official. The Red Kettle season has begun, and we want to thank you again for being a part of this with us. Before we go, I want to share with you some new ways that you can donate to the Red Kettle without actually touching cash or the Red Kettle. We have some new technology that is going to make us donating to the Red Kettle kind of make it social distancing donations. So we have a little preparation here that you're going to be able to see, and it really is simple. Go up to a Red Kettle stand, and you hold your phone against that little thing right on the sign, and it opens up this great donation page that you can utilize to go ahead and support the Salvation Army. It really is quite as simple as that. So we've made it super simple through Apple Pay and through Google Pay to be able to donate right at the Red Kettle if you see one out there. Now, the other reality is that you may not see a Red Kettle out there. So I also want to demonstrate for you our virtual Red Kettle. This is a great option for donating from the comfort of your own home using a computer, a tablet, or even a mobile device. In fact, if you become, if you go take a look at that, you can actually become a virtual bell ringer for us. So you can actually become a bell ringer, again, from the comfort of your own home. So it's as simple as this. You go to northwestredkettle.org. That's northwestredkettle.org. And then you'll see, we're going to actually go to Puyallup. Let's go to the Puyallup Kettle and see how they're doing already. We're going to click right on that. And that takes us to the Puyallup page. We're going to use that one as our example today. They have already raised $7,251, which is a great start for the Puyallup Salvation Army. You simply click Donate Now, or you can click Become a Fundraiser. If you click Donate Now, that'll take you to our donation page and simply choose whether you want to make a one-time donation, or if you'd like to donate on a monthly basis, you can select the amount of money that you would like to, fill in your details, and you can help us rescue Christmas. And as I said, you can not only help yourself, but you could become a bell ringer for us. Maybe we could even get the chiefs and the undersheriff to get a little bit of competition going between them, putting them on the spot a little bit there. But we'll see what happens during the season. We're going to have a wonderful time. We're going to make sure that families get fed. We're going to make sure that people stay sheltered. And we're going to make sure that there are gifts under the tree for children in need this Christmas. Will you help us rescue Christmas? Thank you for supporting the Salvation Army, and thank you for helping us rescue Christmas. God bless you.